Today, I want to teach you the trick of casting a fly rod like an athlete. As an 11-year pro quarterback, I was constantly coached on how to throw a football. Well, casting a fly rod is no different. It's an athletic move, just like throwing a football, swinging a golf club, swinging a baseball bat. As long as you focus on the key points and let your body do the rest, your casting is going to come together pretty quick. Hey everybody, welcome to Familiar Waters and FWFishing.com. I am Mike Pawlowski. Today we're talking about casting a fly rod like an athlete. I want to help you get your stroke down so that you feel good when you hit the river and so that you can learn it without thinking about a million different things at once. So many instructors teach it with a bunch of different little concepts you have to worry about. Well, as an athlete, you can't think that way. You have to focus in the moment. And casting a fly rod is an athletic movement. It takes a little bit of coordination, a lot of timing, and a little bit of practice. But if you focus on these three main tips that I'm about to show you, you're going to get better in a hurry. Let's hit the river. Well, here I am standing waist deep in water because I want to talk to you about fly casting. As a former athlete, quarterback, lifetime fly fisherman, quarterback coach, and a former guide, I see people teaching fly casting all the time as movements, single movements. And it's very stiff and very robotic that you have to do this and you can't break your wrist and all these things they talk about. And I want to teach it like I would teach an athlete, like I would coach a quarterback. And what we're really doing when we're fly casting is a cascade of movements. One movement leads to the next movement. And so I want you to think about this as a full movement rather than as single individual movements. There are three rules to this movement. And those three rules are, I need you to start smooth and finish fast. So start smooth, finish fast. The second rule is complete stops at both the back cast and the front cast. And the third rule is I want to keep my rod tip on a straight line, meaning it needs to be on a straight line up and down. It can't be going like this. It can't be wavering up and down, and it can't be going in and out, because whatever movement we put on that rod tip is what's going to transfer to the fly line. And so if we veer off, the fly line is going to loop around and you're going to create all kinds of problems. So let's talk about the back cast first. A smooth start to a fast finish means I come and get tension to my fly line. With that smooth start, I'm going to get tension to my fly line and then speed up towards the end and throw that back loop. I want you, as a new fly caster, to start your back cast by a smooth start, pointing your rod at your fly line, whether you're on grass or in water like I am. Start with that smooth start, keep that rod tip in a straight line and a complete stop out the back, and I want you to watch your fly line fall to the earth or fall to the water. Smooth start, straight line, watch it fall. If you create that nice loop going back like that, that means you've done it right. Then, if you're on grass, you can just turn and do the same thing on your back cast going the opposite way. I'm in water, so I'm going to have to reset here. But watch your back cast 10, 15, 20 times until you get the rhythm of that back casting stroke and see that loop play out. What that's going to make you do is it's going to make you get that nice clean line, a nice smooth start to a fast finish, and it's going to make you stop to watch that unroll. Don't bring the rod tip way down here, because if you do, if you bring your rod tip way down in the back, what's going to happen is that line is going to follow it on this arc. Remember, that's the whole straight line. If you come forward like a windshield wiper, the line is going to look like a big open loop, and we don't want that. We want a nice tight loop with our fly line. So smooth start, fast finish, full stop, let the back cast roll down. Once you have that rhythm, and once you've got that going, now we're going to add the front cast to it. And it's the same exact rhythm coming forward, we're just doing it off of the stop. So smooth start, rod tip in a straight line, fast finish, full stop. We're going to let that line play out, and then we're going to come forward again. Smooth start, fast finish, full stop, keeping the rod tip in a straight line. So we're going to go back cast, let it unroll, forward cast, let it unroll. Same thing each way. Rod tip in a straight line so it unrolls. rod tip in a straight line so it unrolls. Every time. And now we can literally do this and hold that line off the water as we want. Because our rod tip is traveling in a straight line. Got a nice smooth start to a fast finish. And look at how my rod tip is stopping on both ends of the cast. So one more thing to think about, and you can get this mental image, is that the motion of casting a fly rod is a lot like swinging a hammer, in that when you swing a hammer, you don't have this big arc and try to hit a nail because you're trying to be precise with where you're striking. Well, casting a fly rod is the same way. You want to be precise with the finish of your cast, and you want to generate the most speed right before you stop. And so when you hit a hammer, you lead with the butt section, with the hand section, and turn it over at the end with the wrist. Boom, to pound that nail, direct that force right down it. Same thing with the fly rod. I'm going to lead with the reel section or butt section of the fly rod as I pull, and then turn it over right at the very end. Coming forward, same thing. Lead with the butt end and turn it over right at the very end, generating that power. Little flex in the rod is going to keep that tip on a straight line, and it's going to speed up right at the end of your cast before you stop. And so I will lead with that back end, turn it over, lead with the front end, turn it over. Lead with the back end, turn it over, front end, turn it over. Just like I'm swinging a hammer, I'm turning it over at the very end and keeping those nice tight loops in my line because I am speeding up, going fastest right before I stop. So again, remember, the three things: I want a smooth start to a fast finish. I want a complete stop on both the front and the back cast, and I want to keep that rod tip in a straight line, both front to back and side to side. If you do that, your fly casting will be clean in a hurry. Takes a little time to figure out the rhythm, but those three keys will make you really good. And if you just think about it like swinging a hammer, you can use this one movement, this one thought, to have that whole cascade of movements and become a better fly caster. You don't have to be stiff and robotic. You can cast like an athlete, think like an athlete, and make your fly casting better by using those techniques.